genetically modified mosquitoes are now flying around 6 locations in the Florida Keys. It's part of a pilot program to combat mosquito-borne diseases like dengue fever, yellow fever, and the Zika virus. The technology was developed by UK biotechnology firm Oxitec. Here's how it works. Scientists insert a self-limiting gene into the Aedes aegypti mosquito in the lab. That's the kind of mosquito that carries most of the deadly diseases. When these bugs breed, their larvae die. So the idea is to send out the males, which don't bite humans, out into the wild, let them breed with wild females, and their offspring die. That way you can kill off a big percentage of the population. An important part of this whole process is that the mosquitoes are also modified not to die when exposed to the antibiotic tetracycline, so that they can actually breed them in the lab setting. The Florida Keys are the outdoor lab for Oxitec's mosquitoes, and some groups there have been fighting for the last decade to stop it. We're joined now by Wray, Executive Director of the Florida Keys Environmental Coalition. Barry, welcome.
Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
So they have now released about 120,000 GMO mosquitoes into the Florida Keys. I know you're not happy about it, but could you start by telling us what problem are they trying to solve? What's the issue right now?
That's a great question, and it's a significant problem. We have a plethora of mosquitoes down here in the Keys. We have about 45 different species, and one of them is called Aedes aegypti. And the Aedes aegypti is one of the most hazardous mosquitoes in terms of passing disease to humans.
And until now, how have they been controlled?
Traditional methods, primarily chemicals, and that represents where the problem comes from, because mosquitoes can become chemically resistant. Most people may have heard of DDT or may have even experienced, what happened in the 60s when they call it the silent spring, after they started using DDT around the world to eradicate this particular mosquito, the Aedes aegypti. And it caused bird eggs to basically diminish in thickness, and they didn't hatch. We lost pretty much our bald eagles, went on the endangered species list at that point in time. When they did a Keys-wide referendum, people didn't really know much about it. They had 6 weeks to hear about it. Most of them found out at the ballot box. Yeah, they voted in favor. It sounded like a good idea. Yeah, I'm going to use mosquitoes to kill other mosquitoes. But what do the common public know about the complexities of genetic editing? Very little.
So just quickly, what is the next phase?
The next proposed phase would be a mass release where up to 500 million mosquitoes could be released this year in the Keys.
And do you know when that's planned for?
It would be about 10 weeks from now, 9 to 10 weeks from now. And you think about it. So these mosquitoes, these males that can pass disease venereally to a female, will go out and mate en masse with all these females around. And then those females that have been mated with by the genetically, modified males, they come and bite somebody. What are the risks? Well, we don't really know because they didn't do those investigations. The bite of the female has never been clinically tested. Did it become affected by the male? I mean, we don't know. There's so many questions. And, it's not normal to tell people that you're going to have an intrusive test on their body and that they don't have the ability to opt out. And we object to that. We think it's unethical. Beyond just the scientific issues, it is just totally unethical.
Be sure to watch the entire episode, now available exclusively on EpochTV.com, a new completely censorship-free premium subscription platform brought to you by the Epoch Times. See you there.